have been at Spalding Street Elementary School for 5 years. It's very ordinary, filled with kids, just like the schools I've seen on television shows. Kids who chase each other on the playground and run down the halls to get to their desk just before the bell rings. Kids who slide on icy patches in the winter and in puddles in the spring. Kids who shout and push. Kids who sharpen their pencils to go to the board to do math problems and open their books to read a poem. Kids who write their answers on notebook paper and stuff their homework into backpacks. Kids who throw food at each other in the lunchroom while they sip on juice boxes. Kids who sing in the choir, learn to play the violin, and take gymnastics or ballet or swimming lessons after school. Kids who shoot baskets in the gym, their conversations filled with halls as they make plans, make jokes, make friends. Kids who, for the most part, ignore kids like me, the special needs. Bus, as they call it, has a cool wheelchair lift built in the door, and it picks me up every morning in front of my house. When we get to school, the driver takes their time to make sure all the belts are buckled, all the make sure all the belts and buckles are tight before they lower all of us with walkers or wheelchairs or crutches or helmets down on the bus lift, one by one to the playground to the ground. Then an aide will roll us or help us walk over the waiting area. When the weather is bright and sunny, we sit outside the school. I like to watch regular kids as they play Foursquare while they wait for the bell to ring. They look like they're having so much fun. They ask one another to play, but no one ever asks any of us. Not that we could anyway, but be it, but it would be nice if someone would say hi. I guess Foursquare players must think we're all so backwards we don't care that we get treated like we're invisible. I was so excited when Mom first enrolled me here. I thought I'd learn new things. I thought I learned new things every day, but mostly things that do it was simple things to do that took up time and got me out of the house. In second and third grades, I probably learned more from the sci-fi or Discovery channels than I ever learned at school. My teachers were very nice most of the time, but they would needed X-ray vision like Superman to see what was in my head. I am in a special program with other kids with what they call disabilities. Our age ranks from 9 to 11. Our learning communities, what a joke, has been together since I started school. We never seem to move up and on like other classes. We just do what we did the year before, but with a new teacher. We don't even get a new classroom each year. So the same kids I'm with now were together in second grade. So the same kids I'm with now were together in second grade with a teacher named Miss Tracy, as third graders suffering suffered through with Billups, who could have got the award for worst teacher in the world. There are 6 self-contained learning communities in our wing of the building. Children with various conditions, from preschool to kids who ought to be in high school by now. Our classroom, room H5, might be nice for babies, but give me a break. It's painted yellow and pink. One wall is covered with a sun with a happy face, a huge rainbow, and dozens of flowers, also with smiley faces. Also with smiley faces. Also with smiley face. Sorry. The other wall is painted with happy bunnies, kittens, and puppies. Bluebirds fly all over the sky with perfect white clouds. Even the birds are smiling. I'm almost 11 years old, and if I had to look at puppies in paradise one more day, I think I'll puke. Ashley, the youngest in our group, actually does puke quite a bit. She's 9, but she could pass for 3. She has the smallest wheelchair I've ever seen. She's our fashion model. She is playing beautiful movie star eyes. She is just plain beautiful movie star eyes, long curly hair, and a tiny pixel nose. She looks like a doll that you see in a box on a shelf, except she's prettier. Her mother dresses her in a perfectly matching outfit every day. If she has on on a pink shirt, she wears pink socks, and 2 tiny pink bows in her hair. Even her little fingernails have been done to match. When we when we do what the teachers and therapists call group activities, it's hard for Ashley to participate. Her body is really stiff and tough for her to reach or grab or hold anything. Every Christmas, they make kids in H5 decorate a stupid 6-foot styrofoam snowman. I don't know what the children in regular classrooms get to do, but I know close to it's it's close to holiday time when whatever teacher we have that year pulls out I know it's close to holiday time when whatever teacher we have that pulls this thing out of a closet. Miss Hyatt, the kindergarten teacher, loved that messed up snowman. Just 3 huge balls of yellowing styrofoam stuck together with pins and pipes. Let's decorate, children, she said in her squeaky and annoying voice. We're all going to place decorations with Velcro or toothpicks or glue, whatever works on Sydney, our 5H holidays snowman. I don't know how old the snowman was at that point, but poor Sydney could not stand up straight. It leaned like a drunk who needed the wall to hold it up. Miss Haya gave us green snowflakes. Green? The snowflakes were the dumb were we were the dumb kids. I guess we weren't supposed to care. Brown, garland, stars in purple and pink. Do you like snowman, Ashley? Miss Haya asked her. It's almost impossible for Ashley to communicate because her body is so tight. Her talking board has just 2 words on it. Yes or no. She turned her head slightly to the no. I bet she wishes she could knock the thing down. Compared to Ashley, Carl is huge. Even though he's just 9, he's got a special wheelchair that's extra wide, and it takes 2 aides to lift him in and out of it. But he's good with his hands. He can move his own wheel. He can move his own chair, and he can hold a pencil well enough to write his name. Well enough to write his name and stab a snowman. Carl sticks pens and rulers into the snowman's torso and pens into his head. Miss High used to clap her hands and say in her little squeaky voice, "Good job, Carl! So very creative." Carl would just laugh. He can talk, but only in very short sentences that usually have two parts. He has very strong opinions. Snowman is dumb. He yelled, "Very, very dumb." I think he hates the snowman as much as I do. Or as I do. One year he painted a diaper on the back of another. He pinned a diaper on the back and another on the front of the bottom third of the snowman. The teacher let them stay. Carl knows diapers. When he poops in his pants, which is almost every day, the whole room smells like monkey house at the zoo. The monkey house at the zoo. The aides are so patient with him, though they stop their rubber gloves. The aides are so patient with him, though. They slap their rubber gloves, clean him up, change his clothes, and he always wears sweats, and sit him back in his chair. Those aides deserve medals. We're not an easy bunch. Maria, who has Down syndrome, is 10. She loves Christmas and Easter and Valentine's Day and Earth Day. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday, Maria is ready to celebrate. She's wide around the middle, a little like our snowman, but Maria talks all the time. She's fun to be around, even though she's instantly calling me Melly Belly. Every year, when it's time to bring out the ancient snowman, Maria jumps and cheers with real excitement. I'm pretty sure she's the only kid in our class who truly likes it. "It's time for sending the snowman," she gasps. "Can I put his hat on, please? Can I give him my red scarf? Sydney would love my red scarf." Miss Haya and every teacher after her always let Maria take charge of the green paper cutting out candy canes and the purple striped stars cut from wrapping paper. Maria kisses each decoration before attaching it with Velcro to the snowman. She hugs Sydney each afternoon before she goes home, and she cries when it's time to put Sydney away each year. Even though she has trouble figuring out complicated stuff, Maria understands people and how they feel. "Why are you sad today, Melly Belly?" she asked me one morning a couple of years ago. How could she have known that my goldfish had died the day before? I let her give me a big hug, and I felt better. If Maria is our hugger, Gloria is our rocker. She rocks for hours in the corner, under one of the dumb smiling flowers the teacher is always trying to box her out. But she wraps her arms around herself like she's cold and keeps rocking. She's autistic, I think. She can walk perfectly well, and she talks when she has something to say. It's always worth listening to. So it makes me shiver. She blurted out one day when the classroom was surprisingly quiet. Then she curled up in her corner and said nothing else until it was time to go home. She'd never added one decoration to our snowman, but she does uncurl and seem to relax when the teacher puts on a CD of holiday music. Willie Williams, yes, that's his real name. His real name is 11. I'm not sure what his diagnosis is. He yoddles like one of those swish people in the mountain climbing commercials. He makes other noises too, whistles and grunts and shrieks. He's never quiet. He's never ever quiet and never completely still. I always wonder if he makes all those noises and movements in his sleep. When Sydney and the snowman comes out of whatever box they keep him in during most of the year, the teachers has to keep Willie at a distance because he'll knock the wobbly thing down. Willie is not trying to be mean. It's just that his arms and legs are constantly in motion. He can't help it. Miss Hyatt was the first teacher to witness Sydney's topple over. "Why don't you add this bright pink bow to our snowman?" she squealed to Willie that first year. All arms and movement. Willie tried, but the stupid pink bow went in one direction and poor Sydney went in the other. Three separated balls rolled across the room. Willie shrieked and whistled. I think I saw him smile as well. Now, if Miss Hyatt had given Willie a baseball bat to glue to the snowman, it would have been placed more carefully. Willie loves baseballs. Our first grade teacher, Miss Gross, liked to play guessing game. Willie just blurted if the questions were about butterflies or boats, but watched out for if the questions was about baseball. He screeched out the right answer before the yell and bellows took over. Who was the first baseball player to hit 60 home runs in one season? Miss Gross asked. Babe Ruth. Then it screeched. Who broke Babe Ruth's record of 714 home runs? Hank Aaron. Whooping noise. And who is the all-time hitting king? Miss Ross seemed to be astonished at Willie's knowledge. Pete Ross. 4256. Eek. And who holds the lifetime touchdown record? Silence. Not even a squeak. Willie doesn't bother with football or snowman. Sometimes when I look at Willie, though, I get the feeling that he really wishes he could be still and silent. I watch him as he closes his eye, frowns up his face, and concentrates. Just for a few minutes, he's quiet. He takes a deep breath like a swimmer coming up for air. When he opens his eyes, his noises start all over again. And then he just looks sad. Jill used a walker because her left foot drags a little as she walks. She's thin and pale and very quiet. When Sydney comes out for the season, Jill's eyes are almost blank. It's like the light hasn't clicked off. She cries a lot. Mr. Gross used to put decorations in her hand and tried to make it easy for her to join the activity, but it was always like helping a store mannequin. I heard the aide said she was in a car accident when she was a baby. I think that's awful to start out okay. I think that's awful. To start out okay, then lose the ability to do stuff. Freddie, who's almost 12, is the oldest in our group. He uses an electric wheelchair. He loves that thing. He tells me every chance he gets, Freddie, go zoom! Freddie, go zoom! He grins, pretends he's putting on a helmet, then pushes the controller to its max position and takes off across the room. Of course, his speed controlling only has 2 settings, slow and slower. But to Freddie, he's at a racetrack. He zooms his electric chair around the raggedy old snowman, tossing Velcro stars and belts at it. Asking snowman go zoom, zoom. Well, after Willie sent it flying, Carl tried to stab it with pencils. I guess it was fair. I guess it was a fair question. Every year, Freddie adds his own touches to the snowman, NASCAR, and NASA. They DKs like the one on his chair. If you ask Freddie what date it is, he can't tell you. But if you want to know who won the Daytona 500, Freddie will know. And then there's me. I hate the stupid snowman, but I toss tinsels at it like they asked me to. It's easier than trying to explain. I have a large plexo as tray that fastens to the arms of my chair. It serves as a food tray as well as a communication board. As a communication It serves as a food tray as well as a communication board. When I was younger, Mom pasted dozens of words on it, but I was still limited to only a handful of common nouns, verbs, and adjectives, some names, and a bunch of smiley faces. There are also a few necessary phrases like, I need to go to the bathroom, please, and I'm hungry, but most people, even little kids, need to say more than that in a day. Duh. I've got please and thank you, yes and no, and maybe close together on the right hand side. On the left are names of people in my family, kids in my class, and teachers. The name of Sydney is not included. There's an alphabet stripe on the top so I can spell out words, and a row of numbers under that so I can count or say how many or talk about time. But the majority of time I've had the communication tools of a little kid on my board. It's no wonder everybody thinks I'm retarded. I hate that word, by the way, retarded. I like all the kids in room H5 and understand their situation better than anybody, but there's nobody else like me. It's like I live in a cage with no door and no key, and I have no way to tell someone how to get me out. Oh wait, I forgot about Miss V.